All bad things leave behind. No more self-doubt, no more self-hate. All the time. I really like that. Welcome back, everyone. How are you, Hassan? It's Easter Sunday for many people. Um, I was sharing with you that it feels so different here at home. Holy Week is really like felt and seen, and everything stops because, of course, Panama is predominantly Catholic, so folks don't. There's not this sort of like, oh, you can't say Happy Easter to someone, or you can say it to the other one, because across the board, that is predominantly what most people are celebrating today. Um, and as a kid, you kick and scream on Holy Thursday and Good Friday, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. And then, now as an adult, you remember those moments in this very special way, because it was something that everyone did.
Right, and that, actually today, this morning when I woke up, something made me realize, like, why is Easter have an Easter bunny?
Yeah.
And then I realized every single holiday has become commercialized.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what made me think about that. I'm like, it's Easter, if you're a believer, Jesus Christ died for our sins, but yet, is there a statement saying that are they trying to take away God from America? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Because it becomes more about the Easter.
The Easter bunny.
The Easter bunny.
And finding the eggs and all those things. So.
And at home I grew up with very strong, events like Holy Thursday. You visit all the churches, and Good Friday. You basically don't do anything. You spend half of the day in church. You eat fish. I did find some bun. Even though here it's very different for me, but there were still little things that I kept in mind. But in thinking about religion, spirituality, which I think are two very different things, and sort of how we move about this, I presented at a conference last weekend called Women of Power. And it was held by the Caribbean Cultural Center. One of my mentors, Shiro's Marta Moreno Vega, led this whole thing. And the first panel was around how we use our spirituality, our own way of whatever practice we have or praying to guide us to do this work and to give us courage. But Marta started the day by talking that the conversation is about the experience that you've had that brought you to whatever space you're at, and how you negotiate that space, and how we see ourselves in each other or through each other. And I don't think we do enough of that. I think we move so fast that we don't have the time to pause and sort of, hi, sister, how you doing? Hi, my brother, how are you doing? I'm not rushing. Give me a few minutes. Let's talk. And to be in that space for an entire day with women who are busy, council women. I got to spend time with my very dear, someone who's very dear to me, Marinela Salva, and got to see for the first time, for first time in a long time, Genevieve Williams, who's also from Panama, and she spoke in the later panel. But one of the councilwomen spoke at the beginning, Julissa, and she spoke about being in the political office. She's in the finance department. She's Dominican. So, of course, I asked her the question about what's going on with Haiti and Santo Domingo and how she's addressing that. And she identifies herself as a Black Latina, and really got her entrance into politics through the NAACP. So that was interesting to hear. But she said something that was very interesting. She said that she runs into spaces before they push her out, because it's either they're going to push her out because she's a woman, because she's Black, and then as soon as she opens her mouth, if they hear an accent. So she already knows what's going to happen to her when she walks out of these spaces. Another thing that really stood out for me was, Sister Fulani who spoke about, you know, we move so that we can become good ancestors, so that we can, when we're gone, that folks will still up or keep our name up, and that's important about how we move through our daily lives. And then the third panel, which had this elder that spoke about healing is our way of transforming an unjust society. That if we heal each other, then we can have a better way of sort of looking out into the community and healing the community. But we really talked about how we're all sort of beaten down because there's so much going on that it's rare to come up and breathe. And then my other conference experience was Friday at the Spiritual Soundscape Conference, which is held at Harvard by the African Diaspora Religious Association. And it's just about how we practice different things in the continent and how we use it specifically from a Yoruba, Ifa, African perspective, and how that has transformed a lot of people's lives and how they see it and how they function. And it was so wonderful to be in a setting where everyone was moving with good intent to grow and to learn. And then the after party had Wolf, Hawk, Jaguar, and he performed, and everything about every song he sang was uplifting, and it made you feel good about life, about love, about your family, about your friends. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hold on to this because I think we have so much coming at us. So I'm going to take another pause, and I want to talk about the new book that I am a new contributor, the Trayvon Martin and Us, and talk about how this sort of goes with the topic of conversation around this part segment is around the violence. Boston has had some pretty intense incidents in the past few weeks. And it was interesting to sit with the young boys of the His Project, the young boys of the project that I facilitate every Monday, how they sort of see these incidents and how they think the police is or is not towards young men of color, young men of color and men of color in general. And sort of how do we start to address these things and shift some of these behaviors. So if you're tuning in, let me know. Give me a call. You can send us an email right on Africa Radio Online. You can send us a message. You can also send me a message through my Facebook page, Soulful Afro with Yvette. Or you can call 857-366-7256. Today's show is pretty open. So if you want to just call and give a holler, go ahead and give us a holler. We'll be right back. Everybody give it back for praise. Everybody making joyful noise. How many people tonight? Everybody making joyful noise. Everybody making joyful noise. In the shelter of love. Everybody showing love. And we gon' campaign for the night. The rest is show. The borderline is up ahead. Everybody give it